Now let's talk about direct objects. This is very tricky for Turkish people because the translation from Turkish to English makes it difficult to remember when to use a direct object. So for example, the phrase, "I will read it," or "Yes, we have them," in English is the correct way to say it. But in Turkish, a lot of times, people will say, "Yes, we have," or "I will read," and forget to use the direct object at the end of the sentence. Now, the reason this is so common is because in Turkish, we would say, "Onu okuyacağım," if we're saying, "I will read it." But you don't have to say onu, you could just say okuyacağım, saying, "I will read." So, even though it's okay in Turkish to leave off the direct object, in English we have to use the direct object, otherwise it leaves the sentence feeling incomplete. So, let's take an example. Maybe you're at work and your boss asks you to read an email that he sent. He might say, "Will you please read the email that I sent earlier today?" And a good response in English would be, "Yes, I will read it." Or, "Sure, I'll read it." But either way, we have to use it, the direct object, in the sentence, because if not, in English, it leaves the sentence feeling incomplete. It's unnecessary to say, "Yes, I will read the email." We usually just use the pronoun it, because both people know what you're talking about when you say it. But we still need to use that pronoun it. Otherwise, for English speakers, it sounds incomplete. Another very common example of a sentence that Turkish people struggle with using the direct object for is when you're saying, "Yes, we have them," or "Yes, we have it," if you're talking about something at a store or at a restaurant. So for example, if you're at the supermarket and you're trying to ask if the store has a certain item, you would say, "Do you have any brown sugar?" And the employee in English would respond, "Yes, we have it." But for a lot of Turkish speakers, it's difficult to remember to use it because in Turkish, the simple response of "Evet var" is what you would respond with, and it doesn't take the pronoun when you say it that way. But in English, we have to use the pronoun, otherwise it doesn't make sense. One reason for this difference between the Turkish word var and the English word have or has is the difference in meaning that's just slight. So for example, in Turkish, the word var has the meaning of presence or of possession. But in English, the word have doesn't have a meaning of presence, it only has a meaning of possession. And so because of this, when we're talking about the word have and has in English, we think of needing the pronoun to go along with it as the direct object, whereas in Turkish, it's not usually thought of as necessary.